However, it only voted for Biden by 0.3%, and Arizona remains a fundamentally Republican state, which is clearly reflected in these odds. While Democrats have won 5 consecutive statewide races for president, U.S. Senate, and governor, Trump is currently leading in the Real Clear polling average by 1.4%, based on the last 11 polls. Now, as for the remaining 6 states, let's go in order of least to most competitive. As such, Georgia joins Arizona as a tilt state in the Trump column. Georgia was the closest state in the 2020 election, decided by a razor-thin 0.2% margin. Similar to Arizona, its leftward shift has been driven by the rapid growth and diversification of its largest population center, Atlanta, where record turnout among black voters barely tipped the scales in Biden's favor. However, in 2024, Trump is now favored on Polymarket, with a 64% chance of winning, just shy of lean territory. These are his best odds since President Biden dropped out. Trump also holds a 1.5% lead based on the last 12 polls, with the latest Quinnipiac University poll showing him up by 5 points. Back to the map, the next most likely state to go to either candidate is North Carolina, again leaning toward former President Trump. His odds are sitting at exactly 60% on Polymarket, which is narrower than both Georgia and Arizona, despite North Carolina voting more to the right in 2020. Interestingly, coming into that cycle, North Carolina was considered to the left of both, as it voted more to the left in the previous 3 cycles. However, North Carolina hasn't elected a Democrat to federal office since Barack Obama won it in 2008. He failed to hold it against Mitt Romney in 2012, and each of the last 8 presidential and Senate races in the state have been decided by less than 6 points, cementing North Carolina as a consistently competitive but Republican-leaning state. The Real Clear Politics polling average has Trump leading by about 0.6% based on the last 14 polls. This wouldn't be the first time Democrats felt North Carolina was within reach, only for them to underperform expectations on Election Day. 4 states remain, and Trump could reach 270 electoral votes with a win in any one of the core Upper Rust Belt trio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. These 3 states, each of which voted Democrat in every election from 1992 to 2016, flipped to Trump by less than a point each. Biden returned them to the blue column in 2020, and that was pivotal. If Trump had held just one of these 3 states in 2020, he would still be serving a second term right now. Here in 2024, they may prove decisive once again. Kamala Harris needs to hold all 3 to reach exactly 270 electoral votes, while Trump just needs to crack the wall in any one of these states. On Polymarket, Trump currently has a 56% chance of carrying Pennsylvania, his best odds since late July. The polling average shows the race as an exact tie, with half of the polls showing a dead heat. Pennsylvania is widely regarded as the most likely tipping point state on the electoral map, with Nate Silver giving it a 33% chance of tipping the election, which is almost double the next most likely state, Michigan. If Trump wins Pennsylvania like he does here on this map, it's very, very likely he'll reach 270 electoral votes. For Harris, without Pennsylvania, she'd not only need to win every remaining battleground, but also flip a state that's already leaning Trump, a far tougher challenge than just holding Pennsylvania. As for the remaining states on the map, Harris is favored, albeit narrowly. She has a 53% chance in Nevada and a 52% chance in both Wisconsin and Michigan. These would bring her tally to 257 electoral votes, leaving her short of Trump, who would exceed 270 with 281. In this scenario, Pennsylvania proves to be the deciding state. If it flips to Harris, she'd win the presidency with 276. As always, feel free to let me know in the comments what you think of this map and suggest any other videos or topics you'd like to see in the future.